amalgamate the ideas of Islam and feminism in the same inside yourself, basically, for lack of a better way of putting it. But that's not something that most people would put together traditionally, because I guess most people, when they think Islam and feminism, they think, well, thank goodness Saudi Arabia has just let women drive. That's where they see that's where they see it. I guess a lot of people would maybe like go for that stereotype of like Islam being misogynistic in a way, or at least like oppressive of women. Like what made you like go back, because I read that you'd like gone back and you'd like sort of reread some texts and stuff from the Quran, and you realized, or you'd come to the conclusion that the two weren't incompatible. Like, do you want to talk a little bit about that journey and that sort of like discovery?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I think you're right. I think when a lot of people think about Islam, they think about the repression of women, they think about the hijab being an oppressive tool, etc., etc., and they definitely irritatingly equate Islam with Saudi Arabia, when Saudi Arabia is not Islam and does not represent all Muslims.
No.
But with myself personally, I felt like I'd grown up obviously Muslim. I went to Islamic lessons when I was growing up. I learnt the Quran. I can read Quranic Arabic. I can write Quranic Arabic.
No way.
I can read the Quran in Tajweed, which is like, I wouldn't really know how to explain it, but it's like Tajweed is like, if it's like God tier of reading the Quran, levels of reading the Quran. So you can read the Quran and you can read it in Tajweed, which is like how it sounds nice and stuff. But I very quickly, I used to wear the hijab when I was growing up, and then I stopped when I was 16, which at the time I felt like it was very old that I stopped wearing it, like 16, but now I'm like, whoa, I was so young when I stopped wearing it. But I decided once I got a bit older and decided, all the usual stuff, like discovered mini skirts and boys and stuff like that. I was like, I just definitely felt like I was doing something really wrong. And then I was like, well, am I doing something really wrong? Or like, why should I? It was born mostly out of defiance, actually. Because I thought, why should I leave the religion that I grew up in, that I ultimately love, because some uncle somewhere has condemned what I do? Like, why should I do that? And then that's when I was like, it's like the whole stuff of like, it's agency, and I think Islam is used just like any other tool to control women. It's like it's a power tool, and just like, I don't know, I'm not that well versed on it considering I'm not Catholic, but let's say in the same way maybe the Catholic Church did a few hundred years ago, or maybe the way Saudi Arabia currently does, if you view Saudi Arabia as a secular state and take away the religion side of it. But it's like, it's just a tool that some wayward people use to oppress women. And once you strip it back of that and you actually read it for yourself instead of listening to whatever imam has decided to sprout some bullshit that day, then you see that it's not like, for example, the fact that apparently a man can marry four women, that doesn't come from the Quran. That comes from what you call the Hadith, which is the way the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to live his life. And he married four women, but he married his first wife, who was much older than he was and had a lot of money. Then he married his second wife with her permission, because she didn't have any, she was like broke essentially, and like didn't have anywhere to go and stuff, so they took her in. And she was more like adopted rather than like married. And then it's like the whole thing of like, the way men could marry four women back in the day because they didn't have any rights unless they were married to a man. So it was like, but that doesn't come from the Quran. It's the Hadith. It's just a story of the way the Prophet Muhammad used to live. But some people have decided that they want to live their life like that, which, whatever. But at the same time, don't go around telling women that you're going to marry 3 other women.
Yeah.
And like, it's all to do with like, and then it's the whole thing of like haram. So it's like actually very few things are actually haram. Like a lot of it's just like not advised really, like would rather you didn't do it. But like actually haram is stuff like adultery and murder.
Okay.
And then and people are like, oh, that's haram. And people throw that word around, and it's like, it's not really. Like, so yeah, it's just, and then I think I realized once I started reading it for myself and I started like thinking about it, and then I was like, well, this is fine. I can reconcile my life with feminism, and yeah, I'm not going to hell. I don't think anyway. I hope not.
Well.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
You're not done yet.
No, not done yet.
I mean, most fun people are probably there, right? No, so right, forgive me for my ignorance.
No, it's all right.
So what is the hadith you said? Is that what like Wahhabist, like more extreme Muslim states are based on compared to the Quran? Is that
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the ones that wear the ankle swingers, because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to wear that, and it's like
ankle swingers.
Yes, very short trousers. I don't know if you've ever seen.
Oh right, yeah.
But like back in the day, they didn't really have a sewage system, love. That's why you used to wear trousers like that. Or like the ones they sleep without their like the windows, so they can watch the sun, so they can sleep without window curtains, because Prophet Muhammad used to do that. Peace be upon him, and that's fine. But like he never used to have like a proper like clock. You've got a smartphone, love, with an alarm, so you can track. You don't need to track the sun. You can use your phone, love. It's fine. And it's like it's just messed up.
I mean, I guess that's something that like a lot of people kind of get caught up in following like religion to the letter. Like for example, like I can only speak about like really more detailed about Christianity just because that's the religion that I was like brought up with. So my understanding, at least now, is that like the rules or the sort of like rules and guidelines set out in the Bible are what like 6,000 years of like accumulated human wisdom as to like how to have like a good society, basically. And like some of those rules can still apply because like humans haven't changed, but some of the rules are just silly to try and apply because some of the things are no longer dangerous. Like for example, I think someone had brought up that like Jewish people don't eat pork, but pork like thousands of years ago was like really dangerous to eat because the storage, they didn't have fridges, and that's one of the reasons that they like suggested not to eat pork. Or there was like certain types of cloth, and I can't remember what the fabric thing was, but that there's like certain things that like can still apply because we're like not cognitively different to the people who are writing them, but like the society we now exist in makes some of those rules obsolete.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's true. I think people need to just like use sense. I think that would be my takeaway from it. So use some sense. But it's just I mean, in terms of like women and feminism and Islam, I just think it's bad. Like I get loads of abuse all the time. Like especially now that my profile's growing, it's like I get so much abuse from like men who tell me to like, it's just misogynistic and it's very Islamophobic actually. So like it's like telling me to like cover up or to wear my hijab, or I remember one time when I get a message like, why does my husband, something about my husband shutting me up. I was like, I'll tell him once I find and marry him to tell me to shut up, because I don't have one. But it's or like people, when I used to write quite frequently for the Independent, people would comment under my articles. I remember one time was like, someone goes, it's the Independent's resident Somali ingrate, and I was just like, he knows who I am. I was like, he knows who I am. I was literally like, oh, I'm quite famous, but I was like, but like also that's rude. Can you not? But yeah, it's just stuff like that.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the podcast. Don't forget our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, can both be found in the links in the description below. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's the best way to help us grow. Until next time, thanks for listening. Screw the hedge funds.
You can make as many rules as you want, but if there's no teeth behind them, what's the point?
Well, like Citadel is potentially just gone in a few months. It feels like financial institutions, that they are all laughing at us by buying GME. Screw the hedge funds. Like, I will lose my entire investment if it brings them down.
Why on earth, last May, could you buy the entire company for $200 million?
What's been happening on Reddit and in social media and in the marketplace has never been seen before.
I argue that nothing is off the table. There is nothing off the table when dealing with the volumes of money and something as big as the United States stock market.
The hedge funds have clearly underestimated a group of people raised on Friday night World of Warcraft raids.
Dark pools, they're another mechanism to manipulate and cheat. Mainstream journalists don't say these things for a number of reasons. One is their sources are the people that I'm talking about, and so they can't call somebody a crook.
Superstonk and the other communities that have emerged are a hive mind, the likes of which we have never seen before. It's madness and brilliance, insanity and genius all rolled into one. It's very possible that Citadel will be gone in a few months, and not just Citadel, but the entire financial system has the potential to come crashing down. These crooks continue to gamble recklessly with the world economy, and this could be the moment that they finally get their justice.